Welcome back to the Heat Check Podcast, episode 39. It is Saturday, May 24th, I believe. That's when we're recording this anyway. You'll probably see this later on in the week, but we're back here for our May recording. I am your host, Chris Patrick. We are on the Valley Sports Plug Network here in Studio B. We're recording. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about a little bit about the Arizona Cardinals. Not a whole lot of news there. Not really anything going on with the Suns, but a little NBA news we'll get into. So probably expect this to be very Dbacks heavy. But, you know, as these usually go, we'll see where the conversation takes us. We get together once a month in person here to record the Heat Check Podcast. We do live streams on our YouTube channel, Valley Sports Plug, every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Arizona time. So make sure you head over to our YouTube page, like and subscribe so you can know what's going on when we're going live. If you miss us live, we're available on playback immediately for our live streams, and all of our podcasts are up for audio only streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you can find podcasts. But let's go ahead and get into it. Let me introduce my co-hosts here. We have Merrill Kelly's Pickle Supplier, VSP Tallman.
So juicy.
God, I had a feeling it was going to be me.
To be the Pickle Supplier?
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
You know how it is. Did you know that was actually Torey Lavello that did that?
He gave him the pickles?
Yeah.
I heard a bunch of different fans were like sending him pickles. Like he just came into the clubhouse and had
I thought Torey was on the radio. He said that he was the one, him and his wife.
Oh, they
gave him all the pickles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I heard that he had tried some and he was like, I don't know. But he didn't. He got around the cramp.
I could be wrong. Sorry. It was who was the president?
Mike Hazen?
Yeah. No. Derek Hall.
Oh, Derek Hall.
Derek Hall. Yeah, sorry, my bad. I got that so wrong.
Chris, you better knock on some wood, man. You said he got around it. It's only been a few games, brother.
Yeah, you should.
I'm keeping my hopes up. I mean, I don't know if the cramping was an issue today, but he did give up 4 runs.
No, he got to the 7th inning. He's totally fine.
I guess at that point the bats have to help him out. I know he wasn't the reason they lost, but hey, plenty of time to get into that.
But what's up, guys?
Hey, Tom, I'm glad to have you here. Well, that other lovely voice you hear is Scottie Scheffler's Caddie's Caddie, Michael Benjamin.
I'm training to go pro. Gentlemen, how we doing? I mean, you throw in the golf reference. We're going golfing tomorrow because it is Memorial Day weekend.
Yes,
I am absolutely psyched, ready to get on the links, but ready to talk some sports with you guys, man.
But his caddy's caddy?
He's his caddy's caddy.
So I'm like the caddy in training to be the caddy.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh,
While he's out being the caddy for Scottie Scheffler's caddy, he's learning how to be a caddy, yeah.
Okay. Caddy in training.
And then I'm normally the one that gets the call to go pick Scottie up from prison.
From prison, yeah. Pays the bail.
Yeah.
Why weren't you driving him that day then?
I was in Guadalajara having a little vacay.
I thought he was going to say Guadalupe there for a second.
Like Guantanamo. All right, sorry.
But fellas, I'm glad to have you back here out in the far East Valley, in the armpit of the East Valley, here in Studio B. Arizona Cardinals news, I guess, is what we'll jump off with. Cornerback Sean Murphy Bunting, non-football related injury, will miss the entire 2025-2026 campaign. Massive blow?
No.
I was wondering who was going to jump in first on that.
I mean, all right, so draft was defense heavy.
Correct, yeah.
I mean, you had who was supposed to be a top 10 pick, and he slid because of injury concerns, and is it Will Johnson, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, that's obviously a very key addition to that room, the cornerback room.
Yep.
But then the depth there is just crazy. Garrett Williams, Starling Thomas, who am I missing? Keitrell Clark. What's the other guy's name?
Maximilian.
Max Melton. I mean, you got a lot of depth there where it's not that big of a hit. It sucks though, because obviously Sean Murphy Bunting was your clear-cut like veteran in that room. He wasn't that great last season, but you know, you would have hoped that he would have come in this year and like had some type of leadership in that room.
Fair, yeah.
So it hurts that. I mean, it's May, and we're talking about somebody losing their entire season when we're still 4 months out.
So you don't think he'll be around the team at all? Because I know he's not getting paid technically, so I don't know. I wonder how that.
Well, he got a signing bonus, which I think was like $4.3 million or something like that. But I mean, he's still under contract, and he's still under contract for next season. So I imagine once he's healed up and ready to be around the team, he will be.
Yeah, because he's just not getting his game checks, so it's like he's still technically, obviously, a part of the organization. But I'm saying, like, are we going to see him in plain clothes on the sideline, like in the room studying tape? You know, being that, like Tallman's talking about mentorship in the locker room.
I would say I hope so, right? Because if you look at this cornerback room, and I'm aligned with Tallman in regards to the shout out Ryan Gregory.
It's real,
but
it's not going away anytime soon.
I think oldest guys in the room are 25 years old, which is Starling Thomas and I can't remember. It might be Keytrail
Clark pass. Sounds right.
Everybody else is like 23, 22 years old. Those are young guys to be helming the secondary. So if Sean Murphy Bunting can be there, you know, be somebody to guide these young guys and put them in the best position to be that true leadership guy, I mean, you're going to take it. When he went down, I think that I was kind of in the fact, and we had talked about it before too, I was kind of hoping that with drafting Will Johnson in the second round, it was going to shift Sean Murphy Bunting out anyways, right? His plays were going to get cut down. He just wasn't going to get enough field time because this team and this front office wants to develop their young talent. And Will Johnson proved that he was one of the best corners, if not the best corner in college football 2 years ago. And if you can get one of those guys to come in and be a game changer right away, you're going to do that. You just hope it didn't come off of the backs of losing one of your guys that you did invest capital in for 3 years in Sean Murphy Bunting to an injury like that. But overall, you hope that, you know, he gets healthy sooner rather than later. Obviously, we know it's for the entirety of the season, which is kind of crazy at the end of the day because the season doesn't start for another 4 months.
Right. Well, and we don't know what the injury is.
Yeah.
Or even what happened.
I imagine that it'll come out sooner rather than later, at least because when you put that out in public, knowing that it's a very, very large injury that's going to put him on the shelf for that amount of time, there's a lot of speculation going on out there. And I think that at least Sean Murphy Bunting's camp is going to want to get in front of it because I would say that we've seen the last of Sean Murphy Bunting in a Cardinals uniform.
Yes,
probably.
Next year, he'll probably be cut. You know, we already have a lot of cap space, but there's going to be more guys that are going to be coming up to, you know, sign and invest in for the coming future. But yeah, I think we're in good hands here. But also, I've also heard, I don't know if you guys said, this might have happened like a couple of weeks, if not months ago, before the draft, which kind of why you see what happened in regard to taking Will Johnson that late and not moving up to get him. Also taking Denzel Burke as well and reloading on a cornerback room that was already filled.
Yeah, they said that the Cardinals probably had known about it for a while. There was no time frame given, but yeah, this isn't just something that happened last week.
And they didn't want to show their hand at the NFL draft.
Yeah.
With Will Johnson falling as he did in the second round, they didn't want to go out and say, "Hey, well, we're missing our starting outside cornerback for the entire year. We're going to have to take a guy." And they just let the chips fall where they may with Will Johnson and the injury speculations with him. So if that's the truth, I mean, that's even crazier too. You're talking about an injury that has taken you out for 10 plus months. It has to be a torn ACL or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, we've heard stories of freak accidents in sports in general, like guys tearing shit, falling out of the shower, falling off the couch. There was Clayton Kershaw or someone like cut their finger on a drone or something like that. Do you remember that story?
Was that Kershaw?
It was a pitcher. I know it was a pitcher. Maybe not Kershaw. Maybe
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I heard that. Yeah.
But there were also guys like falling through windows. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly who it was, but they like huge lacerations from it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like it's that thing like, you know, obviously there's going to be the narrative and the reported what happened that comes out, but then there's going to be what actually happened, you know, like, and Sean Murphy Bunting doesn't sound like, to me, like someone who's going to be doing anything like super nefarious or maybe criminal, I would say, but like he has been in the social media for his personal life and activities and being with the industry plant podcaster Bobby Altoff. Been friendly with her, and if anyone doesn't know, she's famous for interviewing her super awkward interviews. She did a one with Drake where they were like in a bed. She's a little controversial because she like divorced her husband and left her 2 kids and like went to go do this whole podcast thing. Yeah, she like missed her young child's birthday because she was interviewing Drake or something like that. And especially with her, it's like it's hard to tell like what's true and what's parody, but like she definitely did get divorced. Like
yes.
I don't know. So just questionable life decisions from her. But then Sean Murphy Bunting was seen at the club with her, carried her out of the club when she was like shit-faced drunk. And then there were rumors that they were dating, and he came out and was like categorically, no, we're not dating. But it's like, I'm not gonna knock these guys for what they do in their personal life, but I'm just saying like he's putting himself out there like that. So I blame Bobby Altoff at the end of the day.
I like it.
Is it the curse or what?
It could be the Bobby curse.
What were some other ones?
I didn't know she left her. Wow.
Yeah.
You didn't know that? Oh yeah.
No, I do. I'm online, but I'm not online.
You're not chronically online.
Yeah. So like,
I think
I also didn't even know that's how her last name was pronounced.
I could be wrong.
Altoff,
right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
My guess was a horrific jet ski accident. He's going a little too fast, lost control, flew into the water, slammed wrong.
Compound fracture, maybe?
Something.
What was your second guess?
I don't think it's permissible to say my second guess on this podcast.
No,
I'm sorry, Michael.
I see. Okay,
I set you up. My bad.
It was the one that I addressed.
Yeah.
In private.
Oh no! What was the other one I said? He was trying to do a backflip off of his off the dock, and just misjudged it and got clipped.
I could see that.
Slammed into it.
Neck. Yeah.
No, it's all knee. Everything's
lower body. Yeah.
So he slammed his knee into the dock. Now, at this point, I don't think we're having some fun here, right? It does suck for Sean Murphy
at
Bunting.
the expense of Sean Murphy. Yeah,
he's gonna miss the entirety of this season, and it's not like he's a young guy in this league anymore, right? Yeah. He was almost kind of on his last leg. Or
how old is he? 30.
He's got to be 29, maybe.
Yeah.
Late 20s. I don't think he's 30 yet.
No, but what are we talking about when we were talking about the possibility of bringing Will Johnson in with his issues, right?
Yeah.
Once you lose that step in the NFL, or you get
27,
older.
27. Yeah.
I was gonna say the amount of times we look at people's ages on this podcast.
Father time is undefeated, right? If you can't keep up with the best wide receivers in the NFL, that's why you don't see a lot of guys make it to 30. Especially at the cornerback position. And Chris, I think you were the one who truly pointed that out.
Yeah.
So, and that's the truth. And unfortunately, Sean Murphy Bunting didn't do himself any graces last year with his play with the Arizona Cardinals. I think he had a below level season overall.
Well, you got to remember, he struggled in Tennessee. He got cut by the Titans. Like football teams don't cut good cornerbacks. Like that doesn't happen. There's a reason why he was available. Yeah. So he struggled in Tennessee, and then he struggled here in Arizona as well. So it's like no surprise. But when we're talking about the defensive side of the ball, like I'll take, it's like an all hands on deck approach at this point. Like I'll take all the help that we can get. So even though he wasn't the best last season, it's still kind of a hit at whatever way you look at it. It's still kind of a hit to the defense, even though we have good depth, as we already talked about it. But you're missing maybe a little bit that you had before going into the season.
True. And was he on that Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that won the Super Bowl?
He was, yeah. He was.
I guess I hadn't realized that he had been on that many different teams.
Well,
yeah, he was. 2019
was last year his first year with the Cardinals.
It was his first year.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so if he was nothing special in his only season with the Cardinals, like, I mean, again, I hope he's okay, but not a big loss to the team as a whole.
Yeah, but that's why it's always good to have guys who have been on championship teams, who understand what it takes to have that championship pedigree, understands what it takes to, give sacrifices for the betterment of the team. And that's the leadership qualities, I think, that Tallman was kind of alluding to in the factor of what you can still get from Sean Murphy Bunting if he is still around this team this year, even though he can't play. especially with how young this cornerback room is.
Very young.
Yeah.
But man, I was always very hopeful that Will Johnson would grasp the opportunity to take advantage and cement himself to be a starter, at least by, I don't know, week 3 or week 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're seeing, well, what do we have over the next couple of seasons from Will Johnson? Where is this team going with, Garrett Williams, Max Melton, and a guy like Will Johnson, just an absolute great secondary that is super young. But this is the last resort kind of thing that we ever want to happen to the team, even if somebody underperformed last year, because we know that more injuries are coming. And for us to already be talking about somebody down for the entire season right now is kind of a blow still.
Yeah, this is not news that you expect to receive in May of any offseason. And the fact that it's a non-football related injury, I think makes it even that much more strange and difficult to process. But I agree with you, Mike. I think his camp and the organization is going to want to get out in front of it before the narrative, the media narrative starts swirling. And yeah, he's not the most high profile player on the Cardinals, but here locally, people are going to want to know. And Tallman, to your point about the leadership, even if he can't mentor them with the on the field stuff, maybe he can talk to them about their digital footprint and their online presence, as he has some experience there. But yeah, we'll definitely be keeping tabs on that.
Stay away
story.
from Bobby.
Yeah, stay away from Bobby. Just like Big Red needs to stay away from Ruby Rose. There's a
Ooh, that was spicy,
that
wasn't
was
it?
spicy.
He's living his best life. Come
Who
on.
the fuck is Ruby Rose?
Mike, you want to take this one?
Yeah,
I
come on,
actually
please.
am not sure.
Help me out.
Is it a OnlyFans model
I
person?
think she does that, but people these
Well,
women
that was
these
the
days.
picture where
She was like twerking on him.
It was
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Kyler Murray's
at Kyler Murray's
softball
thing.
foundation game.
how dare
Influencer. She's a influencer.
Okay.
I guess would probably be
influencing
the
Big
most.
Red to do what?
J- I don't know.
Influencing
All right,
the youth.
Just influencing the youth. Yeah, I wonder if whoever was in the mascot that day got a talking to. But
You'd have to
Bad
think
look.
so, right?
I would imagine. I would imagine like kids present.
I'm all about it, but that's bad. That's a bad look.
Gotta think about the kids.
Men over the age of 18, I'm pretty sure we're all okay with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. No, that was more funny, like easy. But yeah, we'll keep tabs on the Cardinals and what they're doing. But there was some more news more broadly in the NFL. Mike and I talked a little bit about this on the last Heat Check Live that we did this last Tuesday, where the NFL has had these summer meetings, I think they're called, or whatever, the off-season meetings where they get together and they vote on rule changes and procedural changes and stuff like that. The ownership meetings, I guess, is probably the more proper term for it. And Mike and I talked about how they approved one player from each team to play on the flag football team for the Olympics in 2028 that is going to be in Los Angeles. And I'm sure we'll talk more about that as the team gets formed and all that. I guess, Tallman, because you weren't there, I guess just real super, super quick, yay or nay, or how would you have voted on that?
I don't know, man. It's flag football.
So yeah,
It's ridiculous, dude.
What a hater,
he's
dude.
in the
Were you
minority
guys all
here.
about it?
I'm about it.
So
I'm about
then
it.
you limit one player per team, like, all right. And then so when the Summer Olympics happen in 2028 in LA,
Yep.
it's gonna coincide, or it's gonna be very close to training camp. So if you expect,
Yeah, because Summer Olympics are in like June, right?
yeah, June, July,
Typically, yeah.
so it's very close, right?
Oh no, they're gonna miss the all-important training camp where they barely wear
No,
pads and they
so-
do nothing. Like,
Okay,
And then
all
none
right.
of the starters play in any of the preseason
and then
games.
rookie Marvin Harrison Jr. plays
relax.
4 snaps. Like
So okay,
anybody who's gonna be on a
Did
fight.
he just tell us to relax, Chris?
I think it's silly. I think first of all, I think flag football in the Olympics is silly.
That's a more valid argument.
Is it sillier than breakdancing, though?
No, it's not. No, that is. What was the
There
chick's
you go.
name?
Raygun?
Raygun. Yeah, that'd be come on. That's a whole nother level. I think it's gonna be close to like baseball in the Olympics, or even
Baseball used to be in the Olympics.
Yeah, or no, I'm talking. Yeah, but I'm talking about the World Classic or.
I think it would be to play devil's advocate here and help you make your point.
Thank you.
It would be similar to 3-on-3 basketball that we saw in these last Olympics. It's a watered down version of the main sport. The main sport is tackle football. Flag football is a lesser version of that. So the 3-on-3 basketball was not impressive, in my opinion. It was not any NBA guys allowed to be. It was Jimmer Fredette and a bunch of nobodies, and they fucking sucked. The USA team fucking sucked. 3-on-3.
That's what's going to happen with the flag
football. The difference
football.
is, well, no, the flag football will have NFL players.
Yeah, but it's not going to be any of the top guys. I can guarantee you that.
You don't think?
No, I bet you right now it won't be.
Oh, I disagree.
You think it's going to be Justin Jefferson?
They're already talking about Lamar Jackson being like the quarterback for Team USA.
The first iteration, I think we will see the top guys do it.
Tyreek
It's the first time they've ever done it.
Yeah.
Then you'll start to see it tail off as years go along, if it still is part of the Olympics, I think. Especially with what you're saying. With it being close to training camp, we know guys have these specific regimens in the offseason. So if you're talking about throwing in an Olympic Games to play flag football, if it's getting in the way of them getting ready for an NFL season to possibly make an all NFL team, which can translate into larger contracts or specific bonuses that they have to hit, then we're going to see guys not do it. But to start for 2028?
So you want to see MHJ go play in that right before he starts a big season?
If he's one of the best wide receivers, why not? And at this point, it's 2028. We're talking about 3 years from now.
Yeah.
Correct. It's the same thing as like us talking about Durant and Booker playing for Team USA, right? I was like, do you want your guy to go out there and get hurt? But the whole flag football, it's just, come on, man. I mean,
so to ask you this, like,
okay. So one last comment.
Okay.
So the only reason they're all high and like all these NFL players are crazy about it is because it's in LA. It's in the United States. Do you think they would go play in fucking Germany?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You think
Hell
so?
Yeah.
Right before they're getting ready to start a season?
Yeah.
I don't know.
To travel on the country's dime to go be a part of that experience in the opening ceremony and be in the Olympic Village and be around the best athletes.
Do you think any of those guys making
world?
millions of dollars are staying in the Olympic Village?
Yes.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they are. They can.
No, but the Team USA, they're all rented out fucking a bunch of shit in Paris, dude. None of them are staying in the Olympic Village. Yeah, they're all millionaires.
Well, that's fine.
That's true.
They're renting out. No, they're all spending their own money to buy.
No,
But just because they rented out places to sleep doesn't mean they didn't go hang out in the Olympic Village.
Okay, I know what you're saying.
They all rode the boat in the freezing cold rain. Probably, well, no, it wasn't freezing cold. But I know basketball is different than football because basketball has been in the Olympics for years and years and years at this point. But if you ever listen to some of those guys talk about their experiences in the Olympic Games playing for your country, it means something different. I don't think for these guys for the first iteration, because if you're asking them to go play tackle football, then we're having completely different conversations, especially when it's right close to training camp. But if it's a possibility to win your country a gold medal, still play in the sport that you love to a certain extent, guys are going to want to, wave the flag and be the first one. Tallman, the first ones to ever do it.
Michael.
Lamar
Olympic
Jackson,
gold.
Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, all the top guys are going to be out there.
Dude, this is flag football. This is a sport that 12-year-old girls play.
Bro, this
is not. Are you serious?
We used to play flag football every Wednesday for 2 years.
We're grown adults that are not athletic enough to play in.
Hold on a second.
Up.
Speak for
Wait,
yourself,
speak for
my guy.
yourself.
Hey, in professional type.
Oh, okay.
Leagues
I could be an O-lineman.
No, no, you could not. You're way too thin.
That's true. You'd have to put on at least 80 pounds.
You need to be.
Well, O-lineman for flag football? I think
I don't think
for flag football, yeah.
They usually don't have linemen.
They have linemen, yeah.
No, not in the clips I was watching.
Look at it. Okay, god damn it.
They probably could, but most of them don't.
Did you watch it in the Pro Bowl?
No.
Okay, see?
Does anybody watch the Pro Bowl?
No.
Okay, but this was just supposed to be getting Tallman's quick opinion on the flag football.
Yeah, I hate it. I think it's dumb.
If you want to hear Mike and I make good points in favor of flag football, go back and listen to our stream from Tuesday.
Whatever.
Live.
Okay,
It's
so
out.
all right, I'll leave you with this.
Please, yes.
I'm proud of the NFL for approving it. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Because they had to prove to allow, or no, it's the NFL.
The NFL
PA.
Well, I think the NFLPA still has to weigh in on it. It was just the NFL owners.
It was the owners group.
The owners, yeah.
voting,
So
yeah.
I'm proud of them all collectively coming in for the sake of their country, because you know that Team USA in flag football is going to win by 1,000 points.
You would hope.
It's going to happen.
You would hope.
It's obviously it's going to happen.
It was funny, Mike, since our stream.
So I'm proud of them for doing that.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
To not be selfish about themselves and their own sport. So that's cool.
I respect it. Mike, I did see since we did our stream, there was the quarterback of the current USA team, the current iteration of it, is like pissed off. He's like, these guys don't know anything about flag football. It's completely different. What do you mean they're just going to come in and take our spot? Yeah, they are, bud. Sorry.
Wait, there's a current team? What are you talking about?
Yeah, because I'm sure there's international competitions as is. It's just not Olympic sanctioned events.
So here, I have my final thoughts. Can I throw my final thoughts in?
Okay, go ahead.
The quarterback for the first ever USA Olympic flag football team is not going to be Lamar Jackson. Let me finish.
I don't disagree with you, though. I don't disagree with you.
Because he's going to have some kind of injury or some kind of situation is going to not be able to have him play. The quarterback of the first ever.
Josh Rosen. Sorry.
The first ever USA flag football team in the Olympics is going to be Kyler Murray after he's led the Cardinals to a Super Bowl 2 seasons before. He's not going to care about training camp. His legs are going to be feeling great, even though at that point he's going to be 30 years old. He's going to be shifty. He's going to be making plays, and he's going to lead USA to gold. Let's do it.
Hey, I don't hate it. I was honestly, Mike, there's a lot of people.
Are we talking about a bet right now?
Oh, no.
A three-year future bet.
I'll give you really good odds. You get Kyler, I get the field, and then we'll do like if it is Kyler, you get 100. If it's the field, I get $10.
Oh my God, 3-year future bet.
3-year future bet.
Yeah, I'll take that bet.
Okay.
All right, there we go. Okay. 3-year future bet. I get the field, you get Kyler.
Wait, so Mike pays you $10 if he's right.
No. So if Mike's right, I pay him 100.
Oh, if you're right,
if I'm right,
he
pays me $10.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what is the economy going to look like in 2028? I might not have $10.
Well, you see here, kid.
Well, they're no longer going to be making pennies.
There's going to be a tariff on this bet.
No, but Mike, what I was going to say is a lot of people that have started talking about this in the national conversation actually believe that it could be Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson, and they have a 2-quarterback system because the mobility in flag football is crucial, and you can kind of do the backwards lateral and still have the ability to throw it downfield type of thing. So they were showing clips of the current USA team or whatever doing that same thing, and they beat the Italian team in some type of game they were playing, but.
Okay, let's clarify our bet.
God damn it, I want to move on so bad.
I know.
I know, it's time to go.
Wait, so is it he's the starting quarterback or he's just on the team? Because after what Chris said, I'm really concerned about our bet in 3 years.
Well, what do you want?
Define starting quarterback. What if they're both on the field at the same time?
Fine, they're on this. All right, as long as he's on the team. All right, move on.
Okay, thank you. Glad we clarified that 3 years in advance. Again, we were not meant to stay on the NFL conversation very long. We get off track pretty easily here. But the ownership meetings, that's what we're talking about, the ownership meetings. We just talked about flag football getting approved. We were going to talk about that briefly. The other big news coming out of those meetings were the Tush push not being banned. It was a narrow vote. They needed 24 votes. They only got 22 votes. Cardinals, Michael Bidwell voted in favor of banning the Tush push. There's a list of teams out there somewhere reportedly that voted to keep it. I think I don't remember off the top of my head. It was like Raiders, Packers, a few others, but obviously the Eagles.
Saints were on there too.
The Saints. And the the Packers, or not the Packers, I'm sorry. The Eagles posted the most corny, stupid fucking post afterwards where it was a picture of Jalen Hurts lined up and he said push. It said push on with an Eagles logo. And there's some other words I could use to describe it, but it was lame. It was lame, and I've flip-flopped on the tush push conversation, guys. I've been massively against it. I've been indifferent to it, but now I'm once again against it, and I will tell you why. It's because it's back to the thing where it's not football, it's more rugby. And a great point that I heard is how come the quarterback's allowed to be pushed from the offensive side, but the defensive guys can't be pushed? Why is it not a 2-way push? It's only a 1-way push. Only the offensive guys are allowed to push. And then why are we? And even if you say okay, well then open it up to the defensive guys to push.
That's not true.
That becomes even worse. That is true. You can't push your teammates on defense.
Because you snap the ball, you can push whoever the fuck you want.
That's not what my understanding was.
Yeah, I don't know if you're right.
The
on that,
linebackers
Tallman.
can't push the offensive linemen.
Yeah.
They can like try and push.
Well,
like, they can try and squeeze in between them, but they
themselves.
can't. Yeah,
They can't use them.
but you can leverage your fullback to push your quarterback in the ass. Like,
Yeah, or the way that they have Dallas Goedert and Saquon Barkley just
it's-
full blown
We've
shoving.
We've seen
Jalen Hurts.
pushing
Jalen Hurts.
on offense forever.
yeah,
It's not just in that.
and I think they
push.
should ban it entirely.
But it's like you've seen them like.
I don't think you should be able to push or pull your teammates any which way.
Yeah, a guy catches the ball right at the goal line, and his fucking teammate comes up, another wide receiver, fucking shoves him into the end zone.
Yeah, I don't like it.
That's happened for years.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Since the inception.
We also saw in the playoffs someone like suplex their teammate into the end zone for a touchdown. I didn't like that either. Because at that point, you're no longer playing football. You're playing rugby at the end of the day, and
Hey,
it's not a football play.
Is rugby, dude. What do you mean?
It's really not though.
How long has rugby been around?
Probably similar length of amount of time as football, but we're getting off topic. Anyway, that's me saying I'm against the tush push, but it's still here to stay. We're going to see it all of next season. More teams are going to try and do it, I'm sure. But what do you guys think? Like, I think we've all been more or less either indifferent or in favor of banning it. It sounds like Tallman loves it.
You go first because I'm in favor. I'll go last.
Oh,
because I know that you're against it.
yeah, I'm against it.
Yeah.
Dude, the tush push is just so boring. I mean, that's the biggest thing for me. I want to see the best athletes in the world on a football field make plays through the air or on the ground like we've seen for the past 30, 40 years. Why did all of a sudden it just become absolutely relevant for this play to be specifically ran every single 3rd and 1? Like, snooze fest, dude. Come on. Like, that's the biggest thing for me. I don't care about who's pushing who or what's doing what, or the leverage, or, you know, it shows who's got the bigger balls because they can push people farther and create more space. Like, no, fuck that, dude. Give me the best players making best plays, getting creative, doing crazy gadget plays on 3rd down, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. That's what sports are about. It's about entertainment. Watching Jalen Hurts line up with 8 men on the line and 2 guys behind him, knowing exactly what's going to happen, doesn't give me any aspect of wonder at the end of the day. That's the point. We don't get it. It's funny that we have a call out that I'm about to call out the Philadelphia Eagles again. We don't get situations like Nick Foles catching a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl if we are running the tush push every single time. What the hell was that play called?
Oh, the Philly special?
The Philly special.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason why I'm against it. I don't care if it's because like the Cardinals can't run it with Kyler Murray. He's too small. I don't care about that. I'm not one of those people who are out on the side specifically because my team just literally can't run it. It's because
your team literally cannot run.
Well, they tried to put Clayton Tune in there to run it, and it didn't go so well.
Yeah,
No, that was just a QB sneak.
Sad.
So it's just boring. That's my biggest thing.
And that's honestly a really good point. It is boring, and it kind of takes the chess match of it and like scheming to more where it's just like, I'm stronger than you. Who has the strongest quarterback? And like Josh Allen has run it probably second most successfully, but we saw even in the playoffs again, he fucked that up.
Dude, oh my God.
Well, he failed at it.
He did.
I can't remember. Was it the AFC Championship game this year?
Yep.
Yeah.
How many times did he fuck that up?
A couple times.
2 or 3 times.
2 or 3 times,
Oh.
yeah. It's
So
gross.
that's the thing where it's like if it's always an option,
Well, and
guys see success from it a bunch,
he
they're going to
did
always try and run it.
He did get the first down on one.
He
Where he
did.
was robbed
Yeah.
from the spot. The spot was bad.
But
It is an imitation league, though. Like,
golly, Josh Allen is too talented to every time a 3rd and 1 comes up, us having to think that he has to just run a tush push or run a fake sneak weird thing if you don't want to call it a tush push, but it really is.
yeah.
And the same thing where it's like now at this point, Jalen Hurts, you got a Super Bowl MVP on your belt, man. That's great, dude. Prove it to me without doing the tush push. Why not? Or I'm saying if you want, in my book, and this is just personal opinion, if you want to go to the upper echelon of quarterbacks and you want to start building more of a legacy, I don't want you to be remembered as the tush push guy.
And that's what it's going to be now. And he's not, and he's a good solid quarterback. He can throw it, and he's good with his feet outside of the tush push. But you mean to tell me that on all those plays they decided to do the tush push, they couldn't have done an inside or outside handoff to Saquon Barkley and had the same result?
Or just even a QB
or a
sneak?
Regular QB sneak? Yeah.
Or just a QB
so are they
sneak.
So are they just doing it because they think it's a higher percentage? Because their whole entire strategy is get it down to within the 5-yard line, and then we're just gonna fucking push our way into the end zone.
No, it's not 5. It's only 1. So
bullshit.
They would do
That's bullshit.
No, they would never do it. Second and 5,
bro.
They never did it.
No, you're lying.
They never did.
You're lying. No,
I would bet you right now.
You're full of
I'm
shit.
about to go my second bet right now on this podcast.
Oh man, I guarantee you're wrong.
I'm not wrong. It would be 3rd and 1, and they would do it on 3rd and 1.
You're telling me they get to the 1-yard line so much that the tush push has become a conversation?
Yeah, every single time it was anything in 1.
They purposely only get to the 1-yard line so they can do it.
Or maybe 3rd and 2, they would do it.
Oh,
hold on. All right. Get out your wisdom here in regard to you being about it, Tallman, so we can move on.
Yeah,
When did you guys get so soft, man? God, let me take a sip of my
tush push
beer.
is
For you guys
not
being
wanting the
so
tush push is soft.
It's fucking football, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Win
exactly.
at the line of
you're
scrimmage.
so mad about somebody doing something
hand
so
off
good.
and win at the line of scrimmage like normal
right
instead of using
now,
leverage.
If we were fucking Philadelphia Eagle
Philadelphia
fans right
Eagles.
now, we would be loving that play. Your shirt wouldn't say Torey gonna Torey. It would say the brotherly shove or whatever the fuck they wear. That's what it would say. So, okay. I'm just saying this shit is just soft as fuck. So it's football. You're gonna say it seems like rugby?
It does.
Dude, they're
Have you
like
watched
the
rugby?
same fucking game. Yes, I have.
It's not the same game.
Well, okay. Clearly, it's not. But obviously, there's some iterations between each other.
Wait, you just said it's the same fucking game, but
yeah,
clearly
but
it's not.
Very similar. Okay.
Come on.
So, I don't. Okay, so there's all these teams. Was it 22 voted against it?
No, 22 voted. Yeah, against the tush push.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
in favor of banning
you
it.
need a full majority to
Something
pass
like that.
a rule like that. Yeah.
Which I don't like. What there's like a 2/3 majority, probably, right?
So obviously we're Cardinals fans. Our team cannot run that play.
No.
Right. Our team also cannot stop that play. Just like 31 teams
this
cannot.
year might be different.
Okay, it might be.
That's true.
But just like 31 teams in the NFL cannot stop that play against the Eagles. So you can't, and I think it's got a different feel to it because the Eagles just won the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
So they won the Super Bowl. They were very successful. They had a couple games where they won because of that play, right?
Arguably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
They did. I mean, it boils down to that, right? So right now the Green Bay Packers are coming out pitching this thing to hinder the Super Bowl champions, right? Because they're good at one thing. So why doesn't every other team in the NFL, you called it a copycat league, right?
Right.
The Bills are trying to do it.
Yeah, other teams are trying to do it.
We saw the Bills fail at it.
They're just not doing as good because they don't all have a quarterback that can squat 600 pounds or whatever the fuck. Jalen Hurts is out here.
You're right. I think you're right. But I just don't get it. Like,
but that's what I'm saying.
You're gonna cry about it.
So you're gonna go get a backup quarterback who just has massive fucking hammies and can squat a big and there's fucking.
I'm not saying that.
You're just gonna put someone back there and create this tush push situation. And you're gonna
I'm saying,
put James Conner at quarterback so he can get pushed into the end zone. That's what's gonna start happening. People aren't gonna do it with their quarterback anymore. They're just gonna because like people know it's coming. Like it doesn't have to be Jalen Hurts. It just happens to be like he's good at it. Like you could put any player back there at that position.
Just like when we put Clayton Tune out there, obviously it's a QB sneak.
Actually,
right?
Are you allowed to? You have to have someone that's on the roster as a quarterback.
No,
on the field, right?
You can put a running back.
Because even in Wildcat, the quarterback has to line up like on the field. He's usually often like a receiver.
I don't think there's a rule.
Clearly, we don't fully understand the current rules.
No, but I'm just
saying. We're talking about changing rules.
It's a physical play. Football is a physical game. And if it's something you can't stop, don't try to be a little prissy bitch and go try to get it banned. Go fucking get people on your team to fucking stop it. or do it yourself. That's just fucking dumb.
That is the counter argument, but
that's so weak.
It's a lame play.
Or do it yourself.
It's a lame play.
If they're gonna do it and they're gonna be successful, then we're gonna do it as well. Then I'm gonna go get the biggest fucking motherfucking college football quarterback right now that's undrafted. He's 6'8", fucking 300. I'm gonna go get him, and he's gonna be my guy. That's gonna be
You're just gonna give him a quarterback number, and then
yeah, like fuck it, like dude, adapt to it.
I have a question for Tallman, and this is coming from my standpoint in regard to why I'm against it. So when you see the Philadelphia Eagles line up on that 3rd and 1, and you see Dallas Goedert and Saquon Barkley
behind him,
almost touching both ass cheeks of Jalen Hurts because they're getting ready to give him the nice shove. Are your juices like flowing? Like you're like, ooh-wee.
I'm about to see a real exciting play.
I can't wait to see what the outcome of this play is.
Then why did you let them get to 3rd and 1? You know what I mean? Like that's
Tallman. You're missing the point. You're missing the point.
Okay,
dude.
so it's not about guys. It's about winning. It's not
no.
About,
I'm talking about
viewing.
Wrong.
No,
wrong.
because I'm a
it's
fan.
Not about your viewing.
I'm a fan
because you're not a fan of that team.
Wrong.
No, I'm a fan in general of football.
I'd be over here with fucking pom poms. Like, yeah, let's go.
Bullshit. Because every time that we did it with Clayton
entire
Tune,
field. Let's win the
were
fucking
successful
Super Bowl.
to a
We
certain
won the
extent.
Super Bowl because we tush pushed like the fucking maniacs that the Eagles did. I'd be all about it, dude.
There were times when we did the tush push with Clayton Tune when it was successful.
That was they never
was our
did
rate.
it
Yes, we
successful.
were.
No.
Yes,
There were times.
We ran it. He got for and
did he ever do it on the goal line?
First downs. Did he get a first down?
Did he get a touchdown?
It's not the point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did at some point.
I don't think so.
Because that's the other thing. Tallman, you're again making a point. Jalen Hurts doesn't only do it on the goal line. He also does it to get first downs.
Yes, he does.
The point is,
and
every
it's lame.
time the Cardinals lined up with Clayton Tune to do the tush push, I was like, this fucking blows.
Yeah.
I wish that Kyler Murray was good enough to try and make a play for us.
I agree. I'm with you on that.
So what am I saying here? Like, if I'm in a standpoint of thinking of like, this fucking blows. I wish Jalen Hurts was good enough to make a just general play instead of having to get his ass pushed.
A gimmick. Yeah.
It's a gimmick.
Well, okay,
it's
not
boring, dude.
He's not the most talented quarterback. Like we know that.
So he relies on gimmicks to
get.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
last year he relied on Saquon Barkley. I mean, it's.
And the factor of this all, when we're talking about our perspective in regard to this situation, you're right. At the end of the day, if you're an owner and you're the one in the room making the choices, it is about winning. But I'm not an owner. I am a fan. And I'm not just a fan of the Cardinals. I'm a fan of football, man. I watch every Super Bowl. I try and watch every playoff game when my team loses. I don't give a fuck who's doing it. I care about getting the best type of football that possibly can be, and I just think it's a boring fucking play at the end of the day.
Yes, and I agree. Let's cut through all the bullshit. Boring. Exactly. Let's cut through all the bullshit. Tallman, what you're saying is valid if you're just strictly looking at it from a football. If you only care about your team winning games. These professional sports leagues only exist for our entertainment. If the product is not entertainment, what the fuck is the point? What in the fuck is the point? Oh, my team won, but it was really boring to watch. Don't you hate watching a basketball game where they're at the free throw line the whole fucking game?
That happened tonight.
That's thunder in a nutshell, dude.
They weren't at the free throw line.
It's boring. People complain about it to where the NBA adjusts their rules so there's fewer free to try and change the pace of the play. It's the same with the NFL. I don't think these owners are like that's the easy bitch perspective of oh, they're just mad they can't beat us so they want to ban it. No, it's because it's boring football, and then you get plays like you did in the playoffs where the Commanders are trying to stop it, they're trying to time the snap count, trying to jump over the line, and then the refs are like, well, if you keep doing that, we're gonna award them points anyway.
That's so true. That did happen.
Dumb.
That was never seen before.
But you're gonna see more of it. You're gonna see more of it.
You are absolutely. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad they did not ban it because again,
because you love seeing ass on.
No, it's just, dude,
that's
just such a pussy way to go. Well, let's go ban this because we can't do it as good as them.
Here's the other thing I worry about, though, is that are the Eagles going to feel so flip? They're going to go and say, fuck you to the league and screw you all others. We're going to double down on this.
Dude,
and
I hope they do.
3rd and 3.
Dude,
3rd and 2,
push it.
force one. They're literally going to push down the field. the entire
I hope
field.
they do. I hope they
Like,
do.
Imagine if
I
Jalen
hope they
Hurts
do.
throws for like 20 yards the
it's-
entire season
it's
because
not-
they tush push.
It's not out of the realm of possibility for you to see it like
Oh,
10
man.
plus times a game. Not only from them, but then it's going to everybody's got egos. Folks, we know this. Then it's going to be the same way. Those other teams, not only the Buffalo Bills, but those other teams, when they play the Philadelphia Eagles specifically, are going to be like, screw you guys. We're doing the tush push 10 times too. And like, I feel bad for Philadelphia Eagles fans and whoever fans of that team you're
See,
watching.
there you go. That's a
then
good
you're
point.
just tush pushing the whole game. Like,
That because that's going to happen. Mike's got a good
yeah.
point.
Like
'Cause-
Nico always
because
says,
we're
you're
gonna
gonna
play them.
You're gonna watch people mashing man meat the whole game.
We'll give them a taste of real medicine. Like if you're going to do
Yeah.
that to us, we're going to do it to you too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then literally stack the box when you know it's going to fucking come. But then you're giving them the edge though to throw it over the top and fucking beat you. So I don't know.
Once
It's,
again, I feel like
it's
this
tough, man.
This has been the podcast that we are getting derailed on so much. So I'm gonna make my last comment.
Wait, so
in
how
regard-
many minutes have we been on this?
Too many.
I'm
Jesus
gonna
Christ.
make my last comment in regard to
Oh my
the
God.
tush push.
Oh my god.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
I have. Here's kind of more of an insight into me as a football fan overall as well. I've honestly
inside
never
the
liked
mind.
watching people run the football.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like college football, guys.
Yeah.
That's why I hate high school football.
The downfield passes are
Because
sexy.
guys
Yeah.
can't pass the football in high school specifically. College has gotten better over the years, but you know how often, especially when I was growing up in my 20s, before that when I was a kid, it was just dominated by guys running the football 70 times a game.
Yeah.
I think that is the most boring aspect of football. I want to see the ball passed. I need to see a beautiful spiral go through the air. I want to see deep passes. I want to see creative routes. That's where I love the game of football. So if it skews my opinion in regard to wanting the tush push ban because of that, because I just don't like the run game in general, and you know a lot of people, I'm not a football guy. I'm telling you guys, I've only played, we were talking about it before. I only played flag football with my buddies, you know, growing up through high school and that kind of stuff. I'm a basketball guy, but there's just something beautiful. The poetry in the air, you can almost call it, when you talk about throwing the football, right? It gives me goosebumps thinking about how special plays can happen when the ball is thrown. I've never felt that about running the football, other than maybe CJ2K, Chris Johnson. But those are so
Until he
far.
got shot.
Those are so far few between experiences that I've had as a football fan.
But Mike, the game of football was built and created on running the football. You know, was it
100%.
until
I'm not saying that
until the 70s.
I would.
Nobody threw the football.
This
Everybody ran.
This is technically
Once
running
again,
the football,
ball.
but it's
Once
really
again,
not.
Nobody.
I don't care.
Even then, even until the
I don't
into
care.
the 80s. Until
I
what? John Elway.
legitimately do not care.
Maybe Bradshaw.
Oh, and how
Maybe a little
successful
bit.
was
Even
the
Bradshaw
NFL
didn't even
before
throw the
then?
ball that much.
Yes, guys, I know
But-
this. Winning football, you have to have,
to
a
run the
solid
ball.
ground game. Why do you think the Cardinals' trajectory has
All
been
right.
going better over the couple of years?
Let me give you a
because
question.
James Conner is
That,
going
that
there.
was exactly what I was going to ask you. You don't
It
don't
doesn't
like
mean-
watching
it
James
doesn't mean-
Conner run the ball?
It doesn't mean I have to get excited. Oh, inside handoff on 2nd and 7. Fucking put me to sleep and cover me with the sheet because my eyes are closed, Tallman. You're excited about that?
I have fallen asleep.
Inside
Watch a whole-
zone on 2nd and 7.
All right, there was a couple games I fell
Come
asleep
on.
this year. You're
Come
right.
on, man.
You watch
but
the
no,
whole.
no.
You watch the whole game, and you maybe get 4 exciting plays the entire time.
This has nothing to do with me
Dude,
understanding
Michael,
that you
it's all
have
about,
to be
It's all
successful
about
with
game
running.
management. It's all about winning the game.
God,
You gotta,
Tallman, great.
It's
Yes,
not about your
100%.
entertainment. It's
What?
as much-
Are you-
it's not.
What?
I mean, I'm
It's
all,
not about my entertainment?
I'm all about your entertainment. Okay.
Okay.
But according to Jonathan Gannon, it's not about your entertainment. They don't care. They want to win the football game.
That's fine.
Yeah, so and that's good with me too.
I mean, I don't want to see the tush.
I mean,
push.
I want to see Kyler Murray throw the football down the field.
Listen,
Shit, when Cliff
listen.
Kingsbury was the fucking coach, I wanted to see him throw the football down the field, not a yard past the line of scrimmage.
Listen.
You know, it's
I
just
wanna-
what it was.
I want to be done talking about
Okay,
this.
sorry.
But the last thing I will say is
Oh no.
we've seen gimmicks before. The Wildcat offense, the option handoff, which is still really prevalent. But the difference between this and that is those came down to things you could scheme against. You could defend. The tush push comes down to is my line stronger than your line? That's all it comes down to. There's no skill involved in it. It's literally a game of tug of war. It's who is stronger. There's no skill involved. If you try and sit here and tell me there's skill involved in the tush push, I'm gonna punch you in the fucking mouth. But I'm just kidding. We don't approve violence. I'm not gonna punch you. But it's not a skill thing. It's a muscle thing. Agree to disagree. I'm sorry, I just caused maybe a little tension there, but
we're not going to punch you, Tallman.
I'm getting punched in the mouth?
Yeah, you're going to get punched.
No, we're not going to punch you.
Okay.
Do you think it's there?
Yeah, let me finish my beer.
Do you think there's there's a high degree of skill in the tush push?
No, it's all about pure strength.
Okay, glad we're on the same page. All right,
physicality.
So the NBA,
that's the game of fucking football.
Phoenix Suns basketball. No news in the Phoenix Suns basketball world. They're looking for a new head coach. We talked about it on Tuesday. They've narrowed it down to 9 candidates, a ton of assistant coaches. Go and watch our stream. We get into it. There's some good, some bad, some ugly. If it's anyone from Michigan State, I'm punching myself in the face and jumping out the second story window here.
I'll join you.
I might let Tallman punch me and jump out the window with me, but we'll see.
Naked.
We'll see what they do. We're expecting that word or that verdict, who they choose to hire within the next couple of weeks, because the NBA draft is coming up in the middle of June, I believe it is. And you'd like to think that Brian Gregory and the true GM, Matt Ishbia, would like to know who the head coach is going to be so they can at least have conversations with them, whatever that looks like. I don't really want to talk about the Suns, guys, but I'm not optimistic right now, and it looks bad. But more broadly, in the NBA, there are the playoffs going on right now. We have the Eastern Conference Finals, the Indiana Pacers. I almost called them the Indianapolis Pacers. The Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks are in the Eastern Conference Finals, and the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder are in the Western Conference Playoffs Finals. Pacers Knicks, it's 2-0 Pacers. Western Conference, it's 2-1 Oklahoma City. Minnesota just routed OKC today, beat them by like 38 points or something like that. Could have been 50, but they took their foot off the gas and left a lot of time on the clock. But Mike, I know you were talking about some Valley ties and some intrigue with the Eastern Conference Finals right now, right?
Yeah, well, first I'll touch on OKC, Minnesota. I think OKC still wins that series. Not very intriguing to start, unfortunately, as much as I thought it would have been. But guys, I have been kind of a secondary New York Knicks fan through this run because of our old boys, Mikal Bridges and Payne. Payne had a solid game 1, I think. Oh man, was it last series?
I think so.
For the Knicks, where he came out, scored like 14 points, kind of got the juices charged for them, and they were able to come back in that game. And we know that Mikal Bridges, oh no, it wasn't game 1 of last series. It was game 1 of the first series against the Pistons for Payne. Mm-hmm. But Mikal gets 2 steals to win 2 games for this team. Yeah. You're always going to have favor and, excitement for those guys. Obviously, as long as they leave the Valley in good graces, which I think both of them did. But they also hold such a special place, I think, in my heart and a lot of Suns fans' heart, because they were part of that team that went to the Western Conference Finals. Or no, they went to the NBA Finals. What are you passing notes on? You got to share these notes now. Notes. Y'all ridiculous.
Sorry, go ahead. No, keep going, Michael. You're killing it.
But fuck you. But yeah, I mean. Oh, can I finish my point, or do you want to make your point?
No, I wasn't going to make a point. No,
say it.
I was just going to fill you in. I was just going to say,
fill me in. Yeah, I want to see it.
I said Mike sucks.
No, that's fine.
No, I said I'm sorry with a sad face.
Oh,
because I threatened to punch him in the face, but I didn't mean it.
You haven't threatened him before. He's going to be fine.
That's true. I was just feeling passionately. About.
You thought I was worried about that?
I'm not sorry.
I'm not worried about that.
I just wanted to make sure the air was clear. Because we're all friends here.
I'll punch him for you.
If you punch me in the face, I'm going to punch you back.
Yeah. Okay. Tit for tat.
Right.
Sorry,
Mike.
Mike.
Got to do the punch at the same time. Like the Step Brothers.
I'm just kidding. I don't punch my friends.
So anyways.
Same. I don't.
The Knicks, tough start. Obviously, you lose both of them at home. I don't know how you climb out of that hole. It's just it's such a bad look. And Payne has not done himself any good service the way that he's played in this series so far. He had one of the worst shots I've seen in a while. I know it was kind of like at the end of the shot
in general, but
I guess my overall like higher arching thought process in regard to those two guys specifically is I wonder if they ever catch like a hangover of the unsuccessful times that the Phoenix Suns had the last couple of years that they were there, with the expectations and them falling very short and actually kind of embarrassing themselves, the last two times that those players were on this team, with the Dallas Mavericks series and then the Denver Nuggets one as well. I don't think it really matters. It's a couple of years ago from them anyways, but I'm just thinking, from a certain aspect, because that's as close it is to me because I'm a fan of the Suns. I wonder if they ever think when it's like, oh, I'm in this position. I think we are at this point, we are not the underdogs. We are the favorites as the New York Knicks. And oh no, we're falling short right now. Are they getting flashbacks?
Like deja vu.
And how does that kind of factor into the way that they play? So that was just like my mind racing and a little bit unfortunate for the Knicks, man.
Yeah, it really is when you consider the amount of talent on the Knicks specifically, because on paper, I think the Knicks do look a lot more impressive than the Pacers. A lot of those guys on the Pacers have been far exceeding their projections, like Aaron Nesmith and Nembhard. I forget what his first name is, but they've showed up for that team. And Tyrese Haliburton is just playing out of his mind. He had kind of taken a game off in, I think, Game 5 against Cleveland, but got back in it, and he's hit multiple game winners or game tying shots. But more to your point about Mikal and Cam, like I think that's definitely plausible. I mean, this is Mikal Bridges' first taste of the playoffs since that time with his time with the Suns, because he spent those 2 seasons with the Brooklyn Nets, got traded in the offseason. Now he's with the Knicks. Probably didn't have to move. Probably kept where he was ever living in New York. But I don't know where Payne was. Where has Payne been since he left the Suns? Do you know?
Oh no,
I don't know that off the top of my head, because he was a guy where like he was on the brink of not even being in the NBA anymore when he came to the Suns. He had been playing in China, I think, for a year prior to that, and it was like he got his redemption with the Suns. And
was he on the Sixers? No,
it's plausible. I mean, because he was from the Bulls.
Mike's
originally. I know I'm trying to stalling a little bit, giving Mike some time to look it up.
So after the Suns 22-23, he went to Milwaukee for half of a season, and then the Sixers.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you're both right.
So I think he was traded to the Sixers mid-season last year.
There you go. Okay.
But obviously, Sixers they weren't really a playoff team last year, right?
No.
No, they were.
They were, right? Because Embiid was actually healthy, and they didn't have Paul George yet.
No, they didn't.
Was that James Harden? They still had James Harden, right?
No,
he was.
Where was James Harden? Right? Was he with the Clippers last year too?
Yeah, he was with the Clippers.
Shit, man, this moves fast.
I know. These players be moving all the time too, which is crazy. It's hard to keep up with.
Because they had Max. They had Tyrese.
Maxey's breakout was his breakout was like this year. Though.
It was last year.
Oh, last year was last year. Okay.
They had Embiid and they had Tobias Harris.
Oh yeah, Tobias Harris. Yeah,
and then they had one other guy. That's pretty good.
Kelly Oubre had a pretty good season.
Yeah, Oubre too. Yeah, you're right.
Kelly Oubre.
Yeah.
Every time
he did actually though.
No, I believe you.
Yeah,
but every time I see something about Kelly Oubre, people talk about the clip where he was being interviewed by that chick from the Suns who stole the name of our podcast.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
I forget her name, but
she got fired from PHNX.
Did she really?
Yeah.
She was interviewing Kelly Oubre, and during the interview, she takes off her wedding ring, and they were like, because she was just like fiddling with it. I think it was more of like a nervous tick thing, but she like took off her wedding ring, and people were like, "Dang, Kelly Oubre is such a stud. He's making chicks take off their wedding ring."
Wow.
Because he's like a pretty boy, right?
Yeah,
like Kelly Oubre is a bit of a pretty boy. And
he
did like the blowing roses.
Valley Boys.
Yeah, man. Oh, man. But yeah, that's interesting. I mean, Tallman, do you want to weigh in on that? Do you think they're considering their playoff woes with the Suns while they're trying to make their playoff run with the Knicks?
Yeah.
Well said. All right.
What the fuck did you even ask me?
He used up all of his willpower during the tush push.
Dude, I'm on empty because of the
Yeah, I could tell.
Conversation.
I could tell.
Wait, what? No, sorry. I'm just joking. What did you ask me though? Say the question again.
I said, do you think that Mikal Bridges and Payne are taking into account, or are they thinking about their playoff woes with the Suns while they're making their playoff run with the Knicks?
No, because it's not comparable, dude.
It's not comparable.
I don't think so. Because Mikal is a different player than he was. So
he has a different role.
He's
honestly, his
he's
role
grown, but he's grown as a player.
But he's still third in
Well,
line.
I was gonna say now his role is the same because
if you're on a team with Brunson and Cat, I mean, obviously you're number 3, right? But he was number 4 in the Suns, right?
depends on the night.
Yeah, depends on exactly.
Yeah.
But he wasn't a scorer. He was like, hey, who's the best player on the opposing team? You're going to guard him.
I think
that was
you
his
still
role.
would have put Ayton in the third role.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're saying Booker, Paul, and then Ayton, and then probably
but he was
Mikal,
he was a different player. He's a different player now. He's a better player now than he was when he was on the Suns. And then Payne he's just lucky to be on the team.
perennial role player. Yeah,
he's just lucky to be on the team. Come on.
I mean, out of both of them,
Let's be real.
Payne is playing the same role that he did while he was on the Suns.
Oh yeah. But I guess there is some validity to like he did go spend that time with the Nets, and he was like number 1, number 2 option primarily. Him and Cam Thomas were basically scoring all the points there for a little while. But then go to the Knicks, and now it's Jalen Brunson 1, Cat 2, and then probably I don't know if you would say like OG Anunoby might be the third option.
Yeah. See,
Say his last name again.
OG Anunoby Anunoby.
Anunoby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you were close.
Anunoby
like a Nubian prince, like a
Ubi-Wan Kenobi.
straight out of Egypt.
Maybe. I don't know his lineage.
I'm just like the mummy came running into my mind for some damn reason. But anyways, yeah, you're 100% right. There were times and there were nights where it was flip-flop. Mikal would kind of go into the third position if he had the hot hand. DeAndre Ayton would fall back and get less touches. I think it's the same with the Knicks right now. There's times where OG Anunoby is on fire from deep, getting to the basket, filling it up, man. So then Mikal falls back in line again. Everything I was saying is obviously speculation, but I was just thinking, watching some of those games, especially down the stretch, when they're blowing that 17-point lead with less than a minute left. Yeah. Those are gut punches, man. Those are true gut punches. And, we saw, I think, from the Phoenix Suns, specifically in that Dallas Mavericks season, their inability to go on the road and close out anything gave all the momentum to the Dallas Mavericks to come back to Phoenix and spank us. So you didn't get spanked, you didn't get ran out the gym by the Pacers, but you got bent over and your pants pulled down in front of your home fans to start this series. That's a tough look, and that's always tough to come back from. So I hope they have the mental fortitude to come back to this series, because as a basketball fan, at the end of the day, all you want is a good series. And I'm hopeful that the Knicks and Mikal Bridges campaign can figure it out.
I think I know they'll get a couple. I know Adam Silver made the call. Knicks got to get a couple. Just like he did with Minnesota. Minnesota's got to get a couple. It's got to be a 6-game series at least for both of them. We'll see how it plays out. So I guess in rounding out our very brief NBA discussion, I want to know what you guys think prediction-wise for finals matchup and which team will actually win it all. I can start out if you want some time to brew on it. I know I normally go last.
Yeah, you start. Go ahead.
Okay. I do think, and I think Mike and I are going to be aligned on this, despite Minnesota's strong performance tonight, just like Shea was grinning after he lost against, help me out here, whoever they were playing in the last series.
The Nuggets?
Playoffs go so fast. Yeah, after they lost that game in overtime to the Nuggets, he was grinning. He's like, because he never had a doubt they were going to win. OKC's going to win the Western Conference Finals. They're the better team at the end of the day. They're younger, they're quicker, they're more athletic. Like Ant is the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they got some help today from their bench. And when Gobert shows up, he's good. Obviously,
Randall too.
Perennial defense player. Yeah, Randall when he shows up. Naz Reid, former 6th man of the year, he can spot up and knock him down. But I just think they're outmatched talent-wise with the Thunder. Thunder are going to make the finals. On the Eastern side, it's kind of hard to say. I know it's crazy saying that with the Pacers up 2-0, but it's been close, and both teams have been known to come back from big deficits, not just in a series necessarily, but in games in specific. I think the Knicks will figure it out, and I think it's going to be Knicks-Thunder final, and the Thunder are going to win it, man. As much as it pains me to say, I don't love that Thunder team, but I just think they're young, they're talented, they got the MVP on their team, love him or hate him, they play smart, they're well coached, and that's my prediction. Now, if it is Knicks Thunder, I think it's a 6-game series. I think that's pretty safe, but that's what I'm thinking.
Wow. Okay. Chris, we are aligned when it comes to the Thunder.
Shout out Brian.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, come
Brian
on,
Gregory, B. Greg. Love him.
Love you, Brian.
Love that guy.
Thunder are going to win that series. I mean, I think tonight just might have been just a crapshoot where it's the first game you played in Minnesota, so let's see what happens. But I think Thunder are going to win that game and win that series. Excuse me. Then I'm going to be not aligned with you. Pacers are going to win. It's going to be Pacers Thunder finals. Pacers are going to win the finals, the championship, and Pascal Siakam is going to be the finals MVP. That is my prediction.
The Somali pirate.
That's right. I am the captain now.
If you guys been seeing the Haliban came into MSG and that kind of stuff. Like Halliburton, the Haliban.
Yeah,
The Haliban.
They've been putting his face on freaking Osama bin Laden.
No.
Hey, there's a great documentary out.
And then
Osama bin Laden right now.
after last night, yeah, people were doing the "I am the captain now" with Pascal Siakam.
I mean, I'm not even gonna go.
Well, they were talking about shirts because the Indiana Pacers, the Indy 500 was this weekend or today or something, and they were putting out shirts in Indianapolis that said "Beat the Knicks, kiss the bricks." Because I guess when you win the Indy 500, you like kiss the bricks at the finish line.
I like that.
Yeah, it goes hard.
All right, gentlemen. We are all aligned in the Western Conference. The Thunder already proved that them having home court advantage, I think no matter what, even if they drop game 4, they're not going to lose this series. They'll be able to find a way to win, even if they win all of their games at home. They just have too good of a home court advantage. They're also too good of a young team. Anthony Edwards is one of the top shooting guards in the league at this point. You have to get labeled that when you take your team to back-to-back Western Conference Finals. And he came out and he showed himself tonight, which you love to see it, man. I have no allegiances or alliances to any of these teams at this point. We're just hoping for good ball. And then I'm aligned with Tallman. I think the Pacers are going to make it out. The way that the New York Knicks lost both of these games, I think is damaging. Really, really damaging. I don't see the Knicks going into Indiana and being able to steal 2 of those games. So if you're talking about kind of the same situation with the Pacers going up 3-1 on the Cavs, the way that the Pacers play offense, the way that they move the basketball, the way that they have multiple guys who can shoot from the outside, including their big and Miles Turner, they are the quintessential team that has put everything together within a playoff run. And it's like smooth sailing right now. And they've kind of figured out a way to they're not shutting down Jalen Brunson, but they're making it harder for the other guys to really make impacts right now. And all of these games have been close. This has probably been the best series of the playoffs so far with what we've seen.
Yeah.
But I'd love to know the statistics. I'm sure ESPN floated it out after the end of the game. How many times has a team gone on the road, won 2 games to start as the underdog, going back home? It's got to be like 7-2, 40-something. You know, give me those odds. I'll put money on that spread. And then it's Thunder.
Yeah.
The Thunder have been the best team in the league all season for a reason. They'll find a way. And man, you have to give hats off to Halliburton and the Pacers too, because you're not talking about another team that was back-to-back in the Eastern Conference Finals, another team that has been going in the right direction. So these playoffs, man, over the past 5 years, people might not be aligned with me, but I think this has been one of the most enjoyable playoffs I've seen over the past 5 seasons.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And I don't know if it's because the Suns aren't in it that I feel like I can be more objective and kind of stand back and just appreciate the basketball. But I agree. I've watched a lot more of this playoffs run for all, like, start to finish than I have a lot of the last previous years. Because before, especially when the Suns were in, I was really only like hyper focused on what the Suns were doing, and they were playing almost every other day. So it's like I'm much more invested in this series, these 2 series, and this playoffs in general. So I don't know. You guys might have swayed me a little bit. I do like this Pacers team. I like betting on Tyrese Halliburton. I like his game. I really wish he had became a Sun and we didn't draft Jalen Smith instead. But you know, can't rewrite history. Can't move timelines. We just got to live with what we got. But anyway, fellas, we gotta round this out. We've been going 70 minutes on a lot of stuff that I think we didn't think we would go 70 minutes on. But it's been good conversations. I love this in-person setting where we can be a little more face-to-face, be a little more comfortable having these fun conversations. Before we get into the Diamondbacks, if you've listened this far into our podcast, thank you so much. You're a true fan. You're an OG, and I know you probably already are. But make sure you're following us at AZ_VSP on Instagram, TikTok, and X. Also liked and subscribed right here on YouTube where you may be watching this, or maybe you're listening back on the audio-only version on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or so much more. But tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your mom and your dad. Make sure they're subscribed as well. We really appreciate it. It helps us to keep doing what we're doing and grow this Valley Sports Plug network. Going live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. But
every 7.
But yeah,
every 7 days.
Every 7 days. Yeah, that's accurate. But yeah, and in the beginning of June, Mike, what is it? The second Tuesday in June? When you're gonna be gone?
Yes.
I was gonna plug when me and Tallman here have decided.
Tuesday? Oh,
June 10th.
Tuesday.
June 10th. Second Tuesday in June. Tallman and I are going to hop on a live stream, just the two of us. We're going to do a heat check live, and we're going to deep dive the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's going to be 100% Diamondbacks. That's all we're going to talk about. And we might
go 3 hours.
We might go 3 hours.
It's very possible.
We're going to do a mid-season check-in. We're going to talk about how the season started, the middle, the road ahead, the all-star voting, what we should do.
Everything.
We're going to deep dive it. We're going to get so deep that you might drown. But
so deep that your mom's going to like it.
Oh, yeah. She will.
Oh, she'll love it.
My bad.
Yeah, so make sure your mom's available for that one, yes. or let her know about the playback and send it to her. But right now, we are going to dabble in the Dbacks a little bit to close this one out because they've just lost 2 series in a row. They dropped the series to the Dodgers 2-1 in a series that was very promising for the Diamondbacks to win that one. They had several opportunities that they let just go to shit. And then to start this series, they're on the verge of getting swept by the Cardinals. And you'll know, by the time you're listening or watching this podcast, you'll know what happened on Sunday. I sure as fuck hope it's a win with Brandon Pfaadt on the mound. Probably our second best pitcher all of this season. But so far, we got Zach Gallen in Game 1. Bum. We got Merrill Kelly in Game 2. They want to give him a pass because he pitched 7, but he still gave up 4 earned runs. Bum. He didn't cramp, though. He made it 7. So I guess we're looking at silver linings here. Just to fire off some storylines here before we dive into it. Justin Martinez made his return today. He's back to throwing triple digits, which was good to see. Blew the save. Made us lose.
That wasn't a blown save.
It wasn't a blown save?
No.
I thought we were... Oh, it was the 8th, so it doesn't count as a blown save. Well, he takes the L. He gets the loss at least, right?
Oh yeah, he got
the
loss.
Yeah,
he got the loss.
He took the loss.
He got the loss.
We'll talk into some other issues in that perspective. Eduardo Rodriguez, starting pitcher, he's on the injury list, injury reserve with phantom injury, shoulder pain. Basically, just get him the fuck out of the starting rotation for a little bit. Give Ryan Nelson a chance. Jordan Lawler was called up 2 weeks ago. He has not gotten a single hit since he got called up. Not a single hit. And I think Mike, you had posted this on our X account, where basically he is like batting like 190 since he got called up in his entire MLB career since he got called up, because he got called up. He didn't play for us last year, I don't think, but it was the year before he got the spring call up during that World Series.
He was
run.
hurt last year.
And he was hurt last year. So Lawler hasn't been impressive, and he's been missing from the lineup a lot. And that's the tough thing about Lawler. It's like, what do you do with him? You either put him at third, and you have to give Suarez a break. You put him at short, you have to give Perdomo a break. You put him at DH, and you're giving Pavin Smith or Naylor a break. Have they played anyone else at first? Has Pavin played first this season?
Yes.
He has a couple times? Yeah. Regardless, I know, and Torey, and that's the Torey management style, is giving these guys days off. He calls them half days. Torey gonna Torey. He's gonna give these guys, he calls them half days off, where he has them DH or he has them pinch hit. Yeah, it's brutal, but
they always pinch hit.
And then, I mean, I'm just getting really frustrated with some guys like Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Eugenio Suarez. I'm getting frustrated with these guys not being consistent with their bats. And, I mean, Corbin Carroll's an absolute stud, but it just seems like up and down this roster, when the pitching does decent, the bats fall asleep. When the pitching's absolutely terrible, the bats are on fire. And it's just like they can never... This goes back to what we were talking about on this podcast, very same podcast a year ago, where it's like when one side of the ball is doing great, the other side is struggling. And it's like they can never put it all together at the same time. And it's just... I think I speak for all Diamondbacks fans when I say that this season has been extremely frustrating, and we're over 50 games in now, I think, or right around 50 games. So we're at about that quarter mark, or that 1/3 mark. We're over the quarter mark, where it's like that excuse of it's early, don't panic. Oh, it's early, don't worry about it. I've been adamant on all of our streams, all of our podcasts here, where it's like every game matters. Every game matters. The games in April matter. The games in May matter. The games in June are going to matter, because when we get to wanting to be a wild card playoff team, if we miss it by one fucking game again, and we're relying on a random Tuesday afternoon doubleheader between the Mets and whoever the fuck else it was, where they're colluding to get both of them into the play. The Braves, I think it was. Yeah, right? It was the Mets and the Braves colluding to where, hey, you guys win one, we win one. We already know what's going to happen. Let's just take it easy. And then the D-backs are out of it. The D-backs have to have their own fate in their hands and win baseball games and win series that they're supposed to win, like the Rockies series. There's no fucking excuse for losing that series. You didn't even lose. Okay, you won the series against the Rockies, but not sweeping the Rockies. They've won 9 games now. They've won 9 games the entire season. They're like 9-42. It's the worst start in the history of baseball in the modern era. I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong there. But then, again...
No, that's true.
I believe it, yeah. The Torey, the Fire Torey crowd is in full effect, and it's polarizing the fan base, because I get it. He's got to be, what's the right word? He's got to be diplomatic in his responses to the media and his post game, and he's got to be polite. But him going out there and being like, oh, well, the Rockies have a lot of good bats in their lineup. No, they fucking don't, Torey. No, they fucking don't. Shut the fuck up, Torey. Just be honest. Hey, we fucking choked. We didn't do good tonight. We should have won this game, and we didn't win it. But no, the Rockies, well, they got a lot of good bats. They got a lot of good bats, Mike.
They got a whole bunch of good bats, especially against Zach Gallen.
Everyone's got a good bat against Zach Gallen, unless you play for a New York-based team.
Yeah, this is. I'm with you. Deep breath in.
I'm frustrated. But I could rant and rave about every single player on this roster to some extent right now. But I want you guys to try.
Yeah, let's talk about.
Like, where do we start? Where do we even start, Tallman? You let us know. Let us know.
Let's talk about the wild card picture.
That's right,
because know that the Diamondbacks are we're not gonna win the division.
Oh, you don't say.
I mean, you're in a division with the Dodgers, Padres, Giants. I mean, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win it. There's no way.
Are we still fourth in the NL West?
Yeah, we're still fourth. Absolutely. So right now, as of today, we are 3 games out of the second wild card position. And then even then, you have the Reds and the Braves on our ass. And then the Braves have caught fire as of late. You see,
fired.
Ronald Acuna Jr. came back. He played yesterday. Dude, he homered on the first pitch he saw. Did you see that?
You're lying. I did not see that.
He hit it 467. It was the longest home
Holy
run
shit.
hit all season long for the Braves. And guess what? He homered again today.
Oh my God.
So he's played 2 games. He's homered in both of them. So the Braves are catching fire. You got the Reds and Braves right on your ass. So this team, this Diamondbacks team, has absolutely zero position for air right now because it's going to be a tough race. Because again, we're not going to win that division. We're going to be fucking riding it out with the Padres, with the Giants. Again, like I said, with the Braves, with the Reds for this wild card spot. And I don't know, man. I watch all these games, okay? I watch all these games. And you talked about the Rockies series. So you go back to the Rockies series so it was a 3-game series. It started off Friday night. Great. We fucking kicked their ass. Saturday was one of the weirdest games that you could even probably imagine. That was a Zach Gallen start. That was when he gave up a ton of runs, but we still had a big lead. We ended up losing that game, 14-12?
To 12, yeah.
14-12. And then I think in the history of baseball, there was some stat that came out where it was like we're a team that won, or excuse me, a team that scored more than 11 runs or 12 runs has won all the games. It was like 4 in 1,000 and something.
Yeah.
Since whatever the date was. And then this season thus far, the Dbacks have lost 3 games where we've scored 12 runs and we've lost that game. And then one of those was against the Rockies, which that was just such a weird game. And then you go to Sunday where we were literally, when it comes down to the 9th inning, so Shelby Miller came in and we were 1 hit away from losing that game, to losing a series to a baseball team that just set the worst starting record for the first 50 games of a season in MLB history. Like they went 8 and
42.
8 and 42.
Yep.
That is the worst first game or first 50 game record of any team in MLB history. We almost lost a series to that team. And that's inexcusable. It really is. And then you go to the Dodgers games where we could have won every single one of those games. We could have. I mean, all right, so you go, so it's 1-0 going in the 9th. Gabby Moreno fucking absolutely rips, bangs a home run to left field.
Clutch.
It was a no-doubter. So you force extra innings. You get the close with Ginkel, or excuse me, not close. You get the Ginkel shuts down the bottom of the 9th. You force extras. And then Corbin Carroll comes out. He hits a 2-run home run. You go up 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
It's the top of the 10th. You're up 3-1. You're going to the bottom of the 10th. You should win that game.
You just need 3 outs.
But you know why we didn't win that game?
Top of the order.
It
was the top of the order.
Well, it was the top of the order. I think it was their number 9 hitter that they pinch hit for. And then it was Ohtani, and then it was a Betts. But you know why we didn't win? Because our bullpen is absolute shit. That's why. That is why. So they let Miller go again, and he just could not pitch to save his life, dude. And it's just, I mean, I believed in the kid. I did. The kid, I should call him a man because he's a man. I believed in him so much, but he's not the answer.
No.
He is not. There's no doubt, no questions. He's not the answer. He's not the guy that's going to go out there and get you fucking 40 saves this season.
No.
It's not him. He's going to be a great part of that bullpen, but he's not going to be the sole leader of that bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
So that game was heartbreaking. The Dodgers absolutely destroyed us in extras. They win 4-3, whatever. Then you get Justin Martinez back today where, you got some promise. It was like, okay, we had some heartbreaks with that Dodgers series where our bullpen failed us. And you said, okay, Justin Martinez is back. He's going to really make a difference. and he came in the 8th because this is Torey going to be Torey.
And you're talking about the game today against
the game today,
Cardinals,
where you're not going to put him in a high leverage situation right off the bat. Not in the 9th, not when it means the most. We're going to put him. Granted, it was a big pivotal point of the game because we just took the lead. It was 5-4, I think.
5-4, yep.
Yeah, so I get it. So that was a big pivotal point of the game. You put him in, he chokes. So you can't rely on the people that we have right now. So I joined I guess not joined. I created my own group today where this team is fucked unless we make a huge splash play, trade, transaction, something at the trade deadline. That is my newfound belief where I don't think the way that this team is constructed right now that we can do it. I mean, we're hanging on by a thread. Dude, we're 500 baseball team right now. We're 26-26.
So you don't think it's a health thing? You don't think it's like we just need to get healthy?
No,
you think we need to bring in someone else?
It is a talent thing. Because you think if Puck comes back after his 60-day stint on the IL, you think he's going to come back when he literally had a terrible start to the season? Right now, that bullpen is in shambles. Ryan Thompson is a shell of himself.
Yeah.
Ginkel, I don't know. He's not great. He struggles to throw strikes. Beeks is Beeks, man. He gives you what he gives you of a guy that you just took up the scrap heap.
I've liked what Beeks has done.
Oh, he's done great. Yeah. But he's not going to get it done for you. Graveman, I don't know. You got to give him a chance. They called up the other kid from AAA. I don't think they even gave him the ball.
They didn't even give him a shot. No.
I don't
sent him
remember
right
his
back
name.
down.
Yeah, they sent him down. Yeah.
Well, there's that Murillo guy who's been getting some.
Yeah, but because he can throw 100 miles per hour. But it's like right now the bullpen is a big issue, and it's right now the way it's constructed. I'm not convinced that it can survive this season in this division. We're this ultra competitive division.
I don't disagree with you. I think it's funny. We had talked about the rumors swirling of the Diamondbacks being interested in the Cardinals closer. Ryan, you good? Wrong pipe. Whoever their guy is, Ryan Hensley, right? But now the Cardinals are starting to heat up. They've got some solid guys on their team, but it also seems like they're probably leaning more towards being realistic, that they're not contenders this year. And while they may be winning games, like they have no delusions of making a deep push. So there's already rumors swirling of them moving off of Nolan Arenado. And there's rumors swirling with them to the Yankees. So all that to say that the Cardinals could still be sellers closer to the trade deadline. Now I'm sure if they are sellers truly, they're going to have many teams calling for the services of Ryan Hensley, and the Diamondbacks should definitely be one of them. I don't disagree with you there, Tallman. I do think this bullpen needs help.
Let me stop you. Cardinals are 29-23.
So they're pretty fucking good.
They've been one of the hottest teams.
So they're probably
in baseball.
second place in their division behind the Cubs, right?
Yeah. They've been one of the hottest teams in baseball.
Yeah, I think they've been like 19-7.
Yeah,
wow.
They've been absolutely killing
I could
it.
be wrong.
Coming into this series, like I had a feeling that we're gonna get swept. Like I know right now, I'll tell you right now, we're gonna get swept. We're gonna lose tomorrow. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, Mike's been out of the loop here for a little bit. I want him to chime in. It looks like he's been doing some research over there. Mike, it's the bullpen. I'm blaming the bats a little bit because it's like the whole hot and cold thing, like the streakiness of a lot of our batters. I think that isn't helping. But at the end of the day, when we have opportunities to win, especially against the team that's number one in our division, like the Dodgers, the bullpen gets highlighted and made. I don't want to call them a scapegoat, but they get made to be the bad guys in those situations.
Yeah, and I'll ask you guys this question. Is there any time that a starting pitcher turns the ball over to the bullpen, doesn't matter who's coming out of it, or do you have confidence in anybody right now? No. Overall, Tallman already said it. This team is 26-26, 500. Listen to this. They are 13-13 at home. They are 13-13 away.
You're lying. Jesus Christ.
They've scored 264
At least they're
runs.
consistent.
They've given up 262, so they only have a +2 differential. This team is the epitome of mid.
It's mediocre.
Middle of the road.
Yeah.
Mediocre. Basic. In the grand scheme of things where this team was supposed to be, that means that you are far, far not reaching the expectations. But Chris, you touched it perfectly on kind of what we've been seeing. We always talk about consistency of a team, right? But it's inconsistency from every aspect, right? Even if you talk on how the starting pitching has done, past 2 games, Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly have been great through 5, and then they have their shit inning where we go down. Should they have been in a position with the way that they were pitching to not have a lead at some point, though? Or not have a stronger lead than they've been given? The bats have been so cold until they mess up, and then the bats take over, and then the bullpen messes up again. Or vice versa.
Yeah.
The starting pitching is horrendous. You don't get any support at all. The bullpen finally does its job to kind of hold the line, and then we score 5 runs, but it's too little too late kind of scenarios. I mean, even going back, you just think the entire month of May, you go back to that Friday, May 2nd game at the Phillies where the Diamondbacks have a 2-0 lead going into the 7th, and then the bullpen comes in, Schwarber homers, Kepler homers, and we lose that game. And we've lost 4 of the last 7 series and pushed 1. So we've only won 2 series out of the last 7. This team is just not good right now, guys, and there's nobody who's striking fear into anybody. There are positives that we've been seeing. I mean, Perdomo has been great from the plate this year. Corbin Carroll has kind of tapered off, I'd say probably the last week, but he's been the most consistent guy from the offensive side, I would say, other than Perdomo, which is why he's been in the MVP candidacy, because at one point he was tied for the league lead in home runs. I think he was at 1 home run every 14 at-bats, comparative to last year where he was 1 every 27. So he's added a lot of pop, but are we surprised that the starting pitching sucked because we put so much stock into it? I mean, guys, like, we should just learn our lessons at this point, but having done this for 3 years, what we put stock into ends up biting us in the ass. So I'm not disappointed. This is my last point. I'm not disappointed.
Been that bad though.
No, I mean you don't have a losing record. You don't have a winning record.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they were saying. Like Arizona Sports was saying, the starting pitching has, if you give a grade for everybody, you're probably looking at overall as like a B, right?
Which is not bad.
I think they gave Eduardo Rodriguez a D because
generous,
as he deserves.
Yeah.
Generous.
Zach Gallen C, but Brandon Pfaadt was leading the majors in wins.
Yeah.
Right. Merrill Kelly has been the second most consistent guy who's been great.
Corbin
I'd say
Burns
over his
B+.
past 6 starts. Corbin Burns has turned the tide, but then once again, he's another guy, gives up the big shot.
Yeah.
But he's not getting the run support. So it's basically like every time it's the teeter of I don't even, what do you call it?
The dichotomy of this baseball team, or
so if everything is thrown into this,
inconsistent, man,
and it goes up, and then oh crap, okay, Corbin Burns is pitching great. Oh no run support. It's
like any pitcher that's pitching good.
They can't put anything together on a consistent basis on all phases on the baseball field right now. And overall, Tallman, I think you said, I don't know if you were just talking about the pitching, like, you're a 500 ball club. You're not bad, but you're not good. And for what the expectations are, you almost kind of have to say that this team kind of sucks right now. Like, it sucks watching them because you have no confidence in anything. And that's a tough pill to swallow a third of the way through with how this division is going. And now you're 3 games out of even a wild card. I know it's third of the way, but that's where we sit.
That's the that's the money shot right there. Is you're 3 games out of the worst, like the bottom playoff spot.
Yeah.
Like you have some good teams that you're going to be battling with to fight for that. Like all those teams ahead of us right now, those are good fucking baseball teams. One of them being the St. Louis Cardinals that we're playing right now, which that is a good baseball team.
Well, and it's almost like in basketball where it's like the Suns are playing in a tough Western Conference. The talent is stacked in the West right now. You could say the same about the National League. Honestly, between the Mets and the Dodgers alone, 2 of the highest payrolls in baseball, not to mention the Phillies, like the talent is kind of stacked in the National League right now. In a lot
100%.
Of ways. Where, we've even looked at this where it's like if the Diamondbacks were on any of these, these American League divisions, they'd be either second, first place in their division, depending on when you're looking at it. So, I mean, you got to play the hand you're dealt at the end of the day, and then we can't look at that for making any excuses, but it's just tough when it's just, you just have these tough breaks. And I mean, speaking of that, like we talk about how bad Eduardo Rodriguez has been. His ERA looks terrible despite some strong performances with strikeouts. And I do think, for my money, I think from what I've seen, just to eye test, like Eduardo Rodriguez has been terrible for the amount of money he's making and for the amount we have expected out of him. But I was one of the announcers, the play-by-play guys, I think Chris Garagiola, he was on one of the local radio shows, and he was kind of defending Erod a little bit, saying that, like, yeah, the numbers don't look great, but if you're watching the games, it's been, some of the defense has been bad, and he hasn't gotten the run support. And but that just ties into exactly what we're talking about, where the inconsistency, where it's like, when you have a tough start from a pitcher, the bats aren't there to back it up and to help mask some of that a little bit. But at the end of the day, man, like I think it's the biggest thing is the bullpen for me. The biggest thing is the bullpen. You can forgive the starting pitchers giving up some earned runs here and there, but when you have a lead and you are entrusting the bullpen to hand it over to them, we could have 10 more wins now if you go game by game. And it's just been such a weird season where you mentioned, Tallman, the amount of games where we had scored 10 plus runs and still lost the game. Like, you don't see that a lot. It's like, it ties into what we've always kind of seen here since we launched this 3 years ago, and just growing up and being Valley Sports fans our entire life, is like, we make headlines and we set records, but they're negative records. It's the first team in X number of time to do this. And I mean, we talked about the Knicks Pacers. I mean, what was it? The Knicks were the first team, like 1 in 493 to be up 9-0 with 2 minutes left in the game or something like that and lose the game. Those are the type of records that the Diamondbacks and Valley Sports teams are setting. It's not positive.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Well, here's the other thing, though. The narrative that I hate is, and I'm not trying to piggyback on you, Chris, and say this is your fault for saying it. There's a lot of people who do say
totally your fault.
From where,
fuck you, Chris.
And you didn't say it on the pod. You said it before we started.
Okay.
The schedule is starting to clear up for the Diamondbacks here over a couple of days, right? You got the Pirates next series, who is kind of a bottom feeder. They already fired their head guy. The Nationals, who is under 500.
Their head guy.
Head guy.
Their manager.
He's the head guy, right?
I thought it was their GM.
Who are the Pirates?
Manager is a head guy, right?
Oh, I don't
Same
know.
thing.
I don't.
Who's the head guy?
Keep going.
Would you call Torey the head guy?
I'd call Torey the head guy.
Torey's the head guy.
Yeah.
He's
Anyways,
the manager. Okay.
The Braves, who are right beneath us.
I don't know. I already told you about Acuna killing it.
You did.
Mariners are better in the AL.
Mariners pretty good. It's a good team.
Then you got Padres. Obviously, they're
really
in front
good.
of us. And then Blue Jays, who have a similar record in us.
suck.
And the Rockies again. And then the White Sox and the Marlins. So there's almost throughout June, you're talking about either comparable teams, one team that is better than us record-wise, or below us. So you look and you think to yourself, this is where the Diamondbacks can go on a stretch run, get themselves back into better positioning, maybe move themselves up in the NL West and whatnot. The problem that I face with that is I cannot stand for going up against the top competition, the teams that you're going to be playing in the playoffs, if you do make it, and consistently losing those series. The only one that we've won has been against the Mets. We've lost to the Phillies. We've lost to the Dodgers. We split with the Dodgers again.
Did we beat the Giants?
I'm not considering the Giants, who were never put into a position of being a playoff contender. I'm not putting them
They've
in that
overachieved.
boat. They have overachieved.
Yeah.
They're 30-22, Michael.
I'm not putting them in that boat still.
Okay.
They'll cool off.
Sorry.
They'll cool off.
Sorry. Okay. All right.
And that's still okay.
I don't
Series
think they
wins.
will cool off, honestly.
Either way, the good teams battle against the other good teams, and the good teams find a way to win these one-run games. And the Diamondbacks are just consistently losing.
We've
them.
struggled with that. Yes.
So
we have. Yeah.
holding on to this hope that going up against these shittier teams is going to change the morale and change the absolute outlook for us. It could. I'm hopeful, but I hate it because I wanted to set the right foot forward for this season, making a statement early, and the Diamondbacks have not done that whatsoever. Not even close.
Yeah.
I'm with you because it's not a let's beat up on the bad teams and pad our record. Let's beat the good teams and prove that we are a good team, if not a better team than this good team that we beat. And we've struggled with that. Obviously, we're 500. So what are you gonna expect out of a 500 team? Exactly what has happened. You know, we've choked in multiple occasions. Like we should probably be. There's a handful of games that we could go back and look on, where it's like we should have won that fucking game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's no doubt
too
about it.
Too many games we should.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why I said earlier, I'm in the camp where we are absolutely doomed if we don't make a splash play to add to this bullpen at the trade deadline. And then on the flip side, on the offensive side, we are doomed if Ketel Marte does not figure out how to be MVP Ketel Marte again. Because this team is not the same without him doing what he's doing. And Corbin Carroll is hot right now. Ketel he's been flicking it up, but I need him to flick it up a little more, right? So I need him to get back to where he was, to where it was like teams don't want to pitch to him. They don't. Because recently teams are pitching to him where he's just grounding out to second base, right? Where he's hit a couple home runs, but we need him to be MVP Ketel Marte again. And at the same note, we need a Jake McCarthy of last year. It doesn't have to be Jake McCarthy, okay? All right, don't get mad at me. It could be a Tim Tawa. It could be Alec Thomas. I don't give a shit. We need one of these young guys to just get on absolute fire where he's batting at the 7th, 8th spot in the batting rotation where he's just you can't get him out. Where last season, Jake McCarthy, for the last 2 months of the season, you couldn't get the kid out. He was killing it. He was absolutely on fire. Where we need somebody like that to spark the bottom half of this batting lineup. Because you have Perdomo, he's your 9th guy. He's a fixture in that 9th spot, right? In the batting lineup. But you need somebody in that lower half to just catch fire and just explode. And if I had to put money on someone, I think it's going to be Tim Tawa. Honestly, Rookie of the Year. Tim Tawa. Yeah.
Tim.
But Rookie of the Year, because he's a rookie. He's like 26.
Oh, Rookie of the Year, please.
No, I know. I'm kidding.
No, I know.
I'm joking.
I know what you're saying.
I was being facetious. But
yeah, I've been impressed with Tawa. But I do want to do a quick exercise with you guys. Because Mike kind of gave me the schedule here. It's Pirates, Nationals, Braves, Reds, Mariners, Padres, Blue Jays, Rockies. Okay. I want to go through each series. Assume they're all 3-game series.
Too early for that, Chris.
Assume they're all 3-game series. And tell me what you think the record of the series is going to be, like 1-2, 2-1, 3-0. And I have mine. I did mine here, and it's not great. But we'll just start. Pirates, go.
Go ahead.
We'll beat them 2-1.
Okay. Tallman?
3-0.
3-0. Okay. Nationals?
2-1.
2-1.
2-1. Okay. Braves?
1-2.
Yep, we're going to lose that series 1-2.
That's what I had also. Reds?
1-2.
I want to say that too, but I'm going to go 2-1.
Okay, more optimistic. Okay, Mariners.
1-2.
I could see us getting swept by the Mariners.
Oh, shit. You're going to go 0-3?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Padres.
0-3.
Okay.
We've been playing better against the division. I'll give them 1-2, but we lose that series.
Okay. Blue Jays.
3-0.
Okay.
This team is so inconsistent. Starting pitching, bullpen. I can't trust them to sweep anybody. 2-1.
That's what I had as well, Mike.
That's a more educated.
And then Rockies.
3-0.
Same.
Okay, God
2-1.
I don't know, do back-to-back sweeps.
Now, ask me 2 weeks from now, when we're going into the Blue Jays series, if we've won a couple of these, maybe I'll feel a little bit more confident about sweeping the Rockies. But come on, how could you not have felt confident that Zach Gallen, even with his problems and issues, was going to be able to get the job done, and he gave up 6 runs.
Yeah.
And then we had to rely on an absolute gem of a 1-0 win to win the series the next day.
We almost lost.
I know
we were one hit away from losing.
That's what I'm saying. I know a lot of people say a win is a win, a win is a win. But with how this team has been losing,
ugly win.
Those type of wins don't help any confidence in this team. It can't help any morale in this clubhouse either.
Yeah. And that exercise shows how unconfident we are that they will be able to put any good baseball together consistently, because we're talking about them being a 500 baseball team right now. I have them 13-10. Tallman 14-9, very optimistic. You 11-12. You're the resident pessimist now.
Well,
but
hey, 500. That's all this team has been all fucking year.
I mentioned this being a fucking an easy stretch for us, and we have them going at or barely above 500.
That's
fucking pathetic. I don't think
That was a great exercise.
Thank you. I think I missed the White Sox in here, because you said I think we have the White Sox in there as well, right?
How'd you miss the White Sox?
I guess I didn't write that down, but
okay.
because that's after the Rockies. That's after the Rockies.
Sox.
Yeah.
I'm going 2-1.
2-1.
So
yeah,
literally
exactly.
500.
And I would also have them 2-1. So best I have them 15-11. Best Tallman has them 16-10. Tallman, that's very generous. I hope
that's pretty good. You'd be 5. You'd be.
That's pretty good. I honestly hope it leans more towards Tallman. But Tallman is relying on 2 series sweeps within his predictions, which I think this team has not proven to me that they can. And I think maybe we're just a little traumatized from what they just did against the Rockies. I think that could definitely be playing into it. But honestly, it just speaks to the inconsistency of this team that is giving us absolutely zero confidence. The fact that there's no help on the horizon for this bullpen, and honestly, little faith in Gallen to figure it out. And then you have a question mark at the 5th spot in the rotation. Is Nelson going to continue to be good? And in his next couple starts that he has against the Pirates and the Nationals, is he going to impress? What do you do with Erod when he comes back? Does he go into the bullpen and become your long reliever? Do you throw him back into the starting rotation? It's tough conversations and things that, these are the times when I don't envy Torey Lovello, because it's going to be no matter what he does, he makes the wrong decision at the end of the day. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. And I'm not going to blame him for whichever decision he makes. If he puts Erod back in the starting rotation and he sucks, not his fault. If he puts Erod in the bullpen and Nelson has a bad start, it's not his fault, He better not put Eduardo back in. If Torey's gonna Torey, that better not be one of the things he does. Because all right, come on.
You really think they're gonna put Eduardo in the bullpen?
Yes, he better. Honestly, yeah. Because the way that Ryan Nelson.
I don't think he will.
It's Jordan Montgomery all over again, fellas.
Yeah.
They invested.
They're going to give him so many chances.
So Torey has come out. He has said it does not matter how much you get paid. We do not play players based on how much they get paid. Mm-hmm. We play players based on what they produce and what they contribute to the team and how contribute to winning baseball games. So right now it's a disservice to the team if after 15 days, when Eduardo comes off the 15-day, if he gets slotted right back into that rotation, that is a disservice to this team. Because right now, Ryan Nelson is a better option. He's the better pitcher. It's
through
easy.
one start though.
Technically, yeah, you're right. One, he did fill in when Burns got.
Oh, okay.
When he skipped a start. That was the game I went to against the Mets.
That's right.
He only gave up 1 run.
Okay.
He actually was really good through 5. So I want to see what Torey does with this, because Eduardo is struggling, and there's things that people don't talk about. Oh my God, a pitcher is so bad. Oh, let's make up an injury for him. That's called the phantom injury. And this is exactly what happened to Justin Martinez, right? And this is what happened to Eduardo Rodriguez. They make up an injury so that they can take a guy, they can peel him back. We'll get you off the front line for a little bit and let you do a little relax and rehabilitation for a little bit so that you can figure it out. So there's nothing wrong with Eduardo. He's just so bad that they had to peel him back. I'm telling you right now. I'm not making this up.
I'm not. I don't believe.
This is a phantom injury.
I don't not believe you. I think you're absolutely right.
You don't pitch every start the entire season and then have an injury all of a sudden because you suck. Yeah, it's because you suck. That's why you have an injury. So I'll bet right now. Do you guys want to do a bet?
God damn it! Second one of the podcast. Probably only one a podcast.
Probably not. So I'll tell you right now. So Ryan Nelson is going to take his spot because he went on IL. Was it a week ago?
I think so. Sounds about right.
So Ryan Nelson has 2 Rodriguez starts. I bet you that Rodriguez does not get his next scheduled start after he comes back. Okay. Because Ryan Nelson's going to take it because he's going to pitch so good.
We'll see. I mean,
so.
I think
because you can't at this point. So Torey has said it, and I don't agree with your shirt 100%. But there's days where I watch this team play, and I go, yeah, okay, I believe in that shirt. But he has said time after time that we do not play players based off what they are paid, off of what their salary is.
This is the same guy that said the Rockies have a lot of good bats, though. So
you're right. That's a good point. But this is gonna be the ultimate, the ultimate judgment. This is the test right here. If Eduardo comes out and he slots right back into his spot, I am immediately gonna join the Torey and join the
Fire Torey.
Maybe Fire Torey club, because this is just so wrong.
I'll buy you the shirt, Tallman.
I'm surprised you didn't buy it already.
And then you'll have to wear it on the next one. But
what size is that?
2X.
It might fit me after another beer.
Well, guys, I think one thing we can agree on is the games and the series that they have the rest of May and through June are going to be a strong indicator of where this team is headed. And it's either going to be a path toward a wild card spot, or it's going to be a path to mediocrity and potentially missing the playoffs for a second straight year with such a tremendously talented roster to have it wasted away potentially by, you can call it poor management, you can call it poor bullpen depth. They got some work to do, and I agree with Tallman that they're gonna have to make some moves with this roster before the trade deadline, and time will tell. In a couple weeks, though, we're gonna deep dive this again. We're gonna give you an update on where they're at. Tallman and I will talk about it this Tuesday coming up. We're gonna have a Valley Sports plug, Valley Trivia plug. Gumpin' It is going to be back in the contestant seat. Michael Benjamin will be hosting. Opponent to be determined.
Your first host?
Second.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep. By the time this comes out, it's a good.
I haven't been involved in so long, so I don't know.
Oh, poor Tallman. Okay. Well, that's what happens when you lose every single time you compete on Valley Trivia Plug.
Well, you lost every single time.
What do you mean?
Have you won yet?
Yeah, undefeated.
He's 1-0.
1-0, baby.
Oh, who'd you beat?
Gumpin' It's 1-0. We beat No Idea.
Oh, you beat fucking Raymond.
Yeah, we beat Raymond and his brother-in-law.
We'll talk.
Stepbrother.
We'll talk out fair about that.
Wait, are you sure?
Or no,
Sure.
idea.
You beat them.
Oh, we did beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we beat you, motherfucker.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's right. It's been a while. No, Mike and Nico beat No Idea. That's right. No, but a lot of fun. It's probably already out by the time you're watching this.
That was a
couple months ago. Because we try and do the trivia once a month. We took April off.
Kruger?
Yeah. I think that was probably in February.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try and do one a month. We took April off, but it's just a fun to take a break from the sports talk and to just do something a little fun,
We
a
have
little
so
different.
much content, I can't even remember.
So much content
No,
flowing out of our
God.
ears. But yeah, we'll probably get this out middle of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, somewhere around that. Friday at the absolute latest. But by the time you're watching this or listening to it, you already know that. But again, if you've made it this far, my goodness, thank you. You are a true, real one, OG. Make sure you tell your friends about it. Guys, I want to give you the floor one last time to speak your mind, get anything off your chest, and 3, 2, 1, go.
Ban the tush push.
Oh, wait, we're fighting 30 more minutes, 30 more minutes.
Hey, all right. What do you have? What's the time? Okay, so Michael.
Too long.
So you see here about the tush push. All right.
Muted.
Okay. Jesus
I will
Christ.
say, so Chris already said it. I'm going to be back in where my blood comes from, back in Boston, in Beantown at Fenway Park on June 10th. I can't wait. While you guys are talking Diamondbacks,
Oh, your mom's going to be in Beantown.
I'll be watching the Red
Yo!
Sox. Golly.
Yo!
It's not like the Red Sox are any better than the Diamondbacks either, so.
I'm so sorry.
I'm going to miss you guys.
Oh,
I might get one of you a souvenir, and ladies and gentlemen, you probably know who that's going to be.
it's going to be me because I bought you a fucking
Hell
Cardinals
no.
jersey.
Hell no.
Really? Wow, that is so
It's
fucked
the
up.
man who is united with me on the
Oh
tush
my
push.
God. Dude,
Mr.
I literally
Tush
spent $140 on a jersey that
Well,
I haven't
bet
seen
me-
you
That's a
worn.
bet.
Bet me,
That's a bet.
and hopefully you can win one.
There you go.
Okay, whatever.
Appreciate you guys.
All right. Appreciate you too, I guess. All right.
I'll get you a gift,
So
Tallman.
it's my
Relax.
turn. Let me.
Yeah, it's your turn. We're golfing tomorrow.
All right. Yeah, we are.
Okay, you really love molesting that microphone, don't you?
Don't you love it? Isn't it the best?
Not as much as you do.
Do you want to watch me?
I'm
do
gonna
some
watch.
more?
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit back and watch. Yeah, go
Do
ahead.
you want to try it?
No, I got a mic right here. I'm good.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I just figured you. Okay.
I'm
All right.
You gonna say anything?
Sorry. I was fucking with you.
Outro.
With the outro, yeah. So we're golfing tomorrow. Do you want to?
Yeah.
Do you want to bet?
I don't want to
my
bet,
God.
Tallman. Just
Okay,
fucking give
okay.
your outro.
Fine. All right. Okay, so I broke my foot. We're gonna play golf tomorrow.
Break his foot.
It's kind of broken. I
He
showed it
stubbed
to
his
you.
toe. He stubbed his
No,
toe.
it wasn't. It was a step above a stub.
And this is the guy
What
who
is
is
that?
complaining about people being pussies for
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't play football.
Yeah.
He's crying
Yeah.
about his pinky toe.
It hurts, dude. I don't play football.
Hey, when I golf over 100 tomorrow, it's because of my pinky toe. It's because I'm left-handed and I have a
here-
mean slice.
You see it,
and
Chris. It's because the way that people, procreate. That, it's not my fault, dude.
My God, Chris,
nobody
lead
ever
us
blamed you
home.
for procreating.
Lead
Are you
us-
done? Yeah, Tallman,
Lead us home.
Tallman,
Chris.
you're done. You're done. You're cut off.
Lead us home.
Love you guys. Love both of you guys.
There you go.
It's
That's
been,
perfect. Good.
It's been a lot
It's a
of
good
fun.
outro.
Thank you.
Hey, glad to have you here, Tallman. We're gonna keep inviting you back.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
We'll let you
My
let you
God.
be a part of this. But no, guys. Yeah, I just appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. We love doing this once a month in-person recording. We want to keep bringing you guys very entertaining, fun content, unlike the Tush Push, which is very unentertaining. We actually want to entertain you. So let us know in the
guys are
comments.
such girls.
Let us know how we're doing. Let us know if you like what we're doing, what we should be doing. Be a part of the conversation. Tune in on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. when we go live on our YouTube page, and you can be a part of that conversation. But fellas, let's go ahead and get out of here. This was episode 39 of the Heat Check podcast. We recorded this on Saturday, May 24th, 2025. We're going to be back at you next month in June for the 40th episode. Maybe we'll do something big. Maybe we'll do something crazy. You'll have to tune in to find out. But for Michael Benjamin and VSP Tallman, I'm Chris Patrick. We'll see you next time. Peace.